Hey, what up YouTube? Just making a quick video on showing you how to bypass the factory amplifier in a Chevy GMC. It works in Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, Yukons. My year is a 2002, and like I said, a lot of them have the aftermarket, or if you want to add aftermarket stereo equipment, you know. And if you run into the problem where you can't get your speakers to work without using the factory amp, I'm going to show you how to bypass it without going out and buying a wiring harness and all this other crap, because you really don't need it. It's pretty simple. Now, this is the glove box that I have open right here that you can see. And once you flip the glove box down behind it, this right here, all this is the factory amplifier, which is a piece of shit. Mine, what I did is this second plug down here, you can see it hanging, and it actually plugs into right here, this port. Unplug that. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass because of these little blue clips on here, you know, front and back, they make it a pain. But anyway, on mine, as you can see, I'm trying to give you a good close-up view. See how you got this group of wires right here on the left side? These right here, these wires right here are your inputs. You don't want those. You want the outputs, the wires going to your speakers, which is right here. You got, see how I've cut them? You got the dark blue, light blue, yellow, and brown, green, light green, dark green, and then down here you got a tan and a gray wire. Those are your speaker, the outputs. Those are the wires going directly to the speakers. So all you have to do is cut those. And what I did is, I'm already in the process of wiring everything back up to the radio and running it. But all you got to do is splice into them. See how I did right here? I've got everything already spliced in. This is one speaker, positive and negative. This is another speaker, positive and negative. And then up here, I've already done the two front speakers, left and right. So I'm running these now, right? And the thing to remember with most GM vehicles, Chevy, GMC, all that. Now, these are your front wire leads right here. You've got gray and tan, and then dark green and light green. For your front speakers, the positive is the lighter colored wire and the negative is the darker wire. So for the front speakers, this one right here, this light green, that's your positive, and this is your negative. And I believe that the green wires go to the right speaker, and the gray and the tan wire go to the left speaker. And like I said, tan is your positive, gray is your negative. Up here for the green wires, light green positive, dark green negative. That's for the front speakers. The back speakers are opposite. So on the back speakers, you've got blue on one side, and then you've got yellow and brown on the other. The brown wire is the positive for the rear speaker. I forget which side, left or right. And then this dark blue wire is the positive for the other speaker. I forget left or right. The easiest way to check that is with a battery. And all you got to do is connect your wiring, get you a battery. I use a simple little 9-volt battery like this with the positive and negative. And then all you got to do is with your speaker lead wire, see if it's hard to film and do this with one hand, so give me just a second. But see how you got that down there? And then you can touch it, your positive and negative wires, and then watch which way the speaker pops. Like this door speaker, looking at your battery, you've got your negative and your positive. This will tell you the polarity Has nothing to do with ohms or anything, just polarity. But you connect these two little wires, or just touch them to your speaker leads to know which is positive and negative. If you touch, because mine, like, see, it's hard to tell here, but flip it over. Like with this wire, see how it's got the white stripe on it? I'm using my white stripe as the positives because I've already figured this out, but this will tell you what to do. So you touch to the battery. Say you've already wired it and you're pretty sure that you've got your wire with the white stripe. That's what you want to be your positive lead going to your speaker. Touch the battery to it, just like that. See, positive to positive, negative to negative with the battery. And if you do that and you see your speaker and it pops outward, coming towards you, that means you've got it correct as far as your positive and negative side. If you touch the battery and the speaker goes in when you touch it, it's reversed. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but just think about it. It makes sense to me. So that's what you got to do. That'll make sure you got the polarity right, because you don't want to hook it up and then turn up your music and instead of your speaker firing outwards like boom, ba boom, boom, it's going inwards. It's going to sound like shit and you're going to destroy your speaker over time. But anyway, on to the next part. I've already gotten here into this harness, cut all my speaker leads. Like I said, these are the wires that are going out directly to the speakers from the factory amplifier. So I cut that and spliced in the wires. Then what I did is run them back up. It's a little hard to see, but back up in here through the dash and back up here to the radio. So what I'm doing is bypassing all that bullshit, the factory amp, all that stuff, and just basically wiring the speakers directly to the radio. Like I said, you can come up through here, reach your hand back in there, feed it up and through there. There's a little gap, bring the speaker wires out through here. And then what you want to do is connect them directly to the radio harness like I'm doing. Harness plugs into the radio. I got one speaker hooked up. I'm in the process of hooking up the next speaker. And then on my harness, these purple and green leads right here, which are still hooked up to the radio harness itself. I'm going to disconnect these, just like I've got these two. Now I'm just going to hook them directly to the speaker wires. Front and rear, left and right. It should be 4. You'll have 4 sets of wires. And that's that. As you can see, I'm already done. And well, with one, and I'm accidentally connecting this one to the wrong wire. I'm glad I caught that, because instead you don't connect to this harness. You connect your brand new speaker wires that you spliced in directly to the harness coming out of the back of the radio. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to pause this real quick and get everything connected the right way. I'm glad I caught that little mistake. I'm going to fix that. I'll hook up the rear speakers as well, and then I'll show you after that. Okay, I'm back. Now that I have all my wires ran and connected and everything, I'll show you once again what I did. We came in through here to this connector. Cut the speaker wire leads. Wires going to the speakers. Then I went up in here. Here's all my speaker wires, front and rear. Got those all spliced in. Like I said, these wires that I'm touching right here, these go to the door speakers. Left, right, front, and rear. 4 of them. Ran those up all through back in the dash. Come out here. Here they are, connected directly to the radio wiring harness, not the one that you have to buy to install it. Like this part is from Walmart. And see, I'm not using these speaker wires that would connect directly to it and then come out the back, run down, blah, 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 go to your factory amp. You don't need all that. You don't. To bypass it. Directly to the radio. And that's all that there is to it. However, if you do want to use the factory amp, and then you get everything wired up, go to turn on your radio, and you're wondering, well, what the fuck? I don't have any sound. The other thing you have to remember to do, especially if you're going to be using the aftermarket amp that's built in, is you have to run power to it. And the way that you do that is, what I've seen is, this is like your power antenna or your remote amplifier turn on lead. What I have, because I have another amp running my subs, so I spliced it in. This blue wire runs back to my subs, I believe. No, I'm incorrect. This red wire runs back to my amp for my subs. This other wire that goes into this harness, this is the wire that supplies power to the factory amplifier. And if you don't connect this little amp turn on lead wire to this, if you're using the factory amp, your speakers will not play because your amp will have no power. The factory amp, that is. So that's just something to remember. Anyway, everything's done. All wired up, ready to go. I'm about to test it out once I plug this back in. And then some of you might be saying, oh, that looks like crap. Why you put tape all over the wires and everything like that? You should use either butt connectors or you should solder it. Reason I don't do that is because I don't plan on keeping this radio very long. It's a decent radio, nice little Kenwood. You know what I'm saying? The BT250U. It's an okay radio, but I'm eventually upgrade to a double din and everything like that. So that's why I tape the wires, because you can just pull them apart and you still got wire. When you solder them, or if you use the butt connectors, you got to cut everything if you want to redo stuff. And then your wires just end up getting shorter and shorter and shorter, depending on how many times you go in there and cut and redo stuff and what all else. So that's why I use tape. You can like it or you cannot like it. I really don't care. It's not your vehicle. But anyways, that's just my little video on showing you how to bypass the factory amp in a 2002 GMC Yukon. So I hope this works for you. It should work in some other Chevy vehicles. I want to say between 2000 and 2006, it should basically all be the same. And like I said, I really hope this works for some people. You don't have to go out and buy those special Metro wiring harnesses and splice them together and reconnect this, that, and the other. No. Come down here, pull the plug out, cut the wires, splice new wires into your speaker leads, run them up here, connect them directly to the harness coming out the back of your radio, which is what I did right here. And you're good to go. I'm going to pause it real quick, connect that, pop the radio back in, turn it on, and see what kind of sound we get. So give me one more second. Alright, we're back. Got everything hooked up. It's ready to go. As you can probably hear it.
Focus 95.7 to beat Tampa Bay's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. And be sure to join the Beats Big Game Watch Party.
All my speakers are working, my door speakers. So that's how you do it. Only bad thing is, since I did disconnect everything from the radio, I got to go in and redo all my settings over again. Program my radio stations, my tuning settings as far as like EQ and all that other stuff. But this is basically just show you that it works. All the speakers work. So got that in there right now. And then what I'm running in the back, I got my little volume knob. And then back here, oh, my little toys. I got two Q-Power 15s running off a 2500 watt amp. I got it wired to 4 ohms right now because right now I can't wire both of these subs up to 2 ohm load for both subs. I can do it individually, but not together. So, and now I got to run it at about 4 ohms, and it sounds pretty goddamn good when I turn them up. But that's just my little video real quick showing you what's up. All right, have a good day. Hope it helps you out. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe.